Hello everybody. Now I'm going to talk to you about IELTS listening module. This module is common for both IELTS General and IELTS Academic. Let's look into the details. This IELTS listening module has 4 parts to it. The first 2 parts are related to a daily life scenario. You could have a conversation related to anything like booking a hotel room, or enrolling in a short course, or enrolling in a gym, something like that. The third and fourth part are related to an education related scenario. It could be about a discussion about a module of a course, or it could be a discussion about a student's issues in a foreign university, something in a education related setup. In the first part, you will have 2 speakers. Second part is a monologue where only one person talks. If there are more than one person, it's called a dialogue. The third part is more complex. It is the usual scenario with all IELTS modules. Initially, it will be relatively easy, and it becomes progressively more difficult or complex. So you can have up to 4 people in the third part. The fourth part is a monologue where a person will deliver a lecture. It's the most complex one. It will not have strong academic content, but the standard of English is relatively high. And so you need to have a high level of exposure to the Western accent of English to be able to comprehend it quite effectively. Now let's look at the different aspects of the listening module. First is listening for specific information. Example, a name of a person, or where or when an event took place. Such details you will have to note down. Next is listening for gist. Say, for example, there's a conversation which involves adding cocoa powder, adding battered eggs, mixing it with flour, using a microwave oven or a baking oven. So you know that it's something related to cooking. So even though it's not clearly mentioned, from the conversation, you should be able to make out what they are talking about. Next is inferring the underlying meaning. Say, for example, I am talking about a picnic that I went to. Say, for example, I went to Mahabalipuram. I am saying the bus drive was tedious. The food at the resort was not good. The time that we spent on the beach was not really great because it was scorching summer heat. Okay, so from that you can discern that I didn't have a good experience. I didn't tell it explicitly. You're able to make it out from what I said. Okay, so that is inference capability. Next is you need to do a high level of multitasking. In the listening module, the first thing is you're listening to the audio file. The second is you're keeping track of the audio file in the question paper. Third, you are noting down the answers. I'll repeat. First, you are listening to the audio file. Next, you are keeping track of the audio file in the question paper. Third, you are noting down your answers in the question paper or onto the computer screen. Okay, so it goes without saying that you need to have an adequate level of concentration. That comes with practice. Next is following signpost words. Say, for example, if there's a gap or a blank after a or an, you know that the answer is a singular noun. But after a, you will have a singular noun starting with a consonant, like a hat, a bag, a house. Okay. After an, you will have a singular noun starting with a vowel. What are vowels? The alphabets A, E, I, O, U. So the answer could be an apple, an orchard. Okay, an answer. That is, an answer is a singular noun starting with a vowel. Remember, in the audio file, there will be pieces of conversations where there will be more pauses, or certain words will be emphasized more strongly. So you can suspect that the answers might revolve around that area, or the answers can come from that part of the audio file, which is more emphasized strongly. Okay, so that's a clue. Next is analyzing the questions and predicting the content. This is the most important part. When you get the question paper, before the audio file starts, you have to read the questions and predict or guess the type of answer that will come for the respective questions. If the prediction mindset is not there, there's a lot of chance that you miss the answers in the audio file. There are 4 passages in listening and each one carries 10 marks. So there's a total of 40 marks. The purpose of IELTS is to help you to adapt to other countries where English is spoken as a native language, like these: US, UK, Canada, Australia. So you need to be familiar with the foreign accent. The conversations are slightly slower compared to what you would listen in an English song or an English film, because there is enough time for you to assimilate that information and note down the answers. You need to pay attention continuously for 30 minutes. For people who have been working for a long time, for several years, they might have a difficulty in paying attention for a long time. So you need to have adequate practice. Practice multiple papers to improve your concentration level. Remember, the audio is played only once. So it's very important that you train to have rapt attention throughout the listening module. You'll hear a lot of information. It's not just the answers are coming. Along with the answers, you will have a maze of conversations which is not relevant to your questions. So your mind should be receptive to the answers. You can write short forms in the question paper. Remember, it's only the answer sheet that is evaluated. The examiner will not see the question paper. For the computer-based students, you will have to type the answers directly onto the screen. Okay. So it's very important that you underline the keywords in the question paper. Computer-based students can highlight keywords in the screen. Okay, there's the highlighter option where you can highlight keywords on the computer screen. It is not a competitive exam. There's no negative marking. So I strongly advise you not to leave any blank spaces or blank answers. Attempt all questions. The answers come in order, the same sequence of the audio file. Okay. So the questions are also arranged in the same sequence of the audio file. You are given 30 to 40 seconds after each passage to look at the upcoming questions. Okay, so this time should be used judiciously and you need to focus only on the forthcoming questions. It's very important that you familiarize with the questions. Familiarize with the questions that you're going to see and predict what kind of answers that you will get. What are the type of answers that you will get in your listening module? The answers could be letters, A, B, C, D. It could be numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, or it could be numeral, Roman numerals like this. You need to check the instructions, whether it's uppercase. Capital letters are uppercase, small letters are lowercase. So you need to follow the instructions carefully. All capital letters are allowed. So I strongly advise students to write all answers in capital letters, both for listening and reading. Okay, at the last moment, you don't have to rack your brains whether you'll have to write the answer in capital letter or small letters. Okay, so all your answers can be capitalized. The word limit is important. Say, for example, if the word limit is 3 words, your answer should be within 3 words. If you write exceeding 3 words, it is wrong. Your answer could be 1 word, 2 words, or 3 words, but not more than 3 words. After listening, for paper-based students, you have 10 minutes to check your answers. You can check your answers and transfer it to the answer sheet. Computer-based students have only 2 minutes to check your answers. There's no answer transfer to the answer sheet because you have already typed it onto the screen. So you're given 2 minutes to check your answers. After the 2-minute period, the screen will be locked. You won't be able to navigate on the screen. Remember that your answers should be based on the instructions. Even if your answer is right and if you are not follow the instruction, like the word limit, your answers certainly will be marked wrong if you have not answered according to the instructions. Spellings and grammar are important. Remember, it's It's an English test. You need to be conscious about English language when you attempt IELTS test. If your answer is house, and if you had written houses, it is wrong, because house is singular, houses is plural. Okay, the grammar is wrong. And in case you have written, say for example, if the answer was run, and if you had written ran or running, it is wrong, because run is simple present tense, ran is simple past tense, running is continuous tense. The verb tense is wrong, so your answer will be marked wrong. Let's move on to the quiz. So this is also a true or false question types, which is a common type of question that comes in IELTS. First question, the audio plays for 40 minutes. At a stretch, the audio plays for 40 minutes. Is that true or false? Second question, there are 4 sections or 4 parts in the listening module. Is that true or false? Third question, people from India or Indian speakers are also part of the listening audio files. Is that true or false? Next question, you can take a toilet break during the listening test. True or false? Next question, you can check previous answers during section breaks. Next question, all capital letters are allowed for the answers. Is it true or false? Pause the video, note down the answers, and then we'll check them. The audio plays for 40 minutes. That is false. The audio plays only for 30 minutes. Paper-based students have 10 minutes to check and transfer the answers, whereas the computer-based students get only 2 minutes to check your answers. Of course, there are 4 sections to the listening module. Each carry 10 marks. Indian speakers are not part of the audio files, because you get people only from countries where English is spoken as a native language, like Australia, New Zealand, or Canada. It is not advisable to take a toilet break during the listening module. Of course, nobody will prevent you from going to the toilet. If you go to the toilet, you will lose the audio file and you cannot attempt the questions. Remember, if you are sick, you can produce a medical certificate and you can refrain from coming to the test. Don't force yourself to attend the IELTS exam if you're not feeling well. It is not advisable to check the previous answers during the section breaks. If you do that, you will not be familiar with the forthcoming questions. And if you're not able to predict the type of answers that will come, there's a lot of chance that you will miss the answers. All capital letters are allowed, both for listening module and for reading module. You can write all your answers in capital letters. I hope you found this video useful. Please give me a like and please subscribe to my IELTS Online Veloz channel, and I will see you in another IELTS lesson.